Hello everyone, welcome to the Miss Stories and enjoy watching. She was looking forward to him coming home from work. She was so ready for it. After all, it was her beloved Kolenka's birthday today. All day she cut out flowers and arrows from colored paper, wrote notes, and drew a big poster that said, "Happy birthday, sweetheart." Her idea was the bomb. Kolenka had to go into the house and immediately in the hallway to see colored arrows on the floor. The arrows would then lead him through the house, eventually leading him to a locker in one of the rooms where he would find a note telling him what he should open next. And in each of the next places, Kolenka would find the next note. The notes would line lockers, drawers, even the microwave and oven. Eventually, the notes would lead Kolenka to a bedroom, the entire floor of which was studded with cut out of colored paper flowers. On the wall hung a poster, "Happy birthday, sweetheart," and on the bed lay a beautifully wrapped gift. She put on a beautiful new dress and hid in the bedroom behind the curtain. She wanted to watch from her hiding place as Kolenka unwrapped the gift, as she came to her delight. Then she would come out from behind the curtain, kiss her lover soundly, take his hand, and they would go into the garden, where a table was set in the gazebo for two for a romantic dinner. She imagined how happy and surprised Kolenka would be. After all, no one had ever arranged something like this for him before. He was so serious, so busy, always at work. And suddenly such romance. Of course, he didn't expect. She wondered. They hadn't met that long ago. Or rather, they had been introduced by friends at a party. She and Kolenka were so different, but that was probably why they were attracted to each other, and everything spun at lightning speed. 2 months after they met, Kolenka suggested that they move in with him. They really were very different. Her friends called her the party girl. She could turn any, even a very insignificant, it would seem, event into a holiday, always created some unusual entourage. Carefully thought through the design of everything in the world, interior decoration, table settings, colors of clothing, all sorts of unexpected little things. And everything she did quickly, easily, as if playing. She was happy about every little thing in life like a child. Nicholas, on the contrary, was serious, always imperturbable, almost never showed any emotion, it seemed, was completely devoid of any romance. He always smiled a little condescendingly when she showed him another detail for decorating, or another beautifully wrapped gift, or when she told him how she and her friends had organized a fun party for someone. He smiled indulgently and didn't say a word. She never understood whether he liked it or not. My mother was just delighted with Nikolai. She used to say, "You're so lucky to have him. Such a serious, reliable, wealthy man. Hold on to him, leave your childishness and don't be fooled, please." And the day finally came when she could organize a celebration for her beloved Kolenka. She was distracted from her memories by the noise of the engine and the sound of the gates opening. Kolenka has arrived. After a while she heard the rustle of gravel on the driveway. Kolenka had parked the car and was heading toward the house. She froze behind the curtain. She imagined how Kolenka would be surprised, how he would walk through the rooms in search of new notes, and how he would finally show up at the threshold of the bedroom. Half an hour had passed. Nikolai did not appear, although by her calculations, all the search should not take more than 15 minutes. She listened. No footsteps around the house. She came out of her hiding place and cautiously looked out of the room. She listened. Not a sound. She went downstairs. Kolenka was in the kitchen. He took something out of the fridge and began to eat dinner. Everything she had prepared went unnoticed. "Where have you been?" "I'm actually hungry, so I started dinner without you," said Nikolai unhappily. "And why are you dressed up?" "Well, of course. It's your birthday," she said, confused. "And you decided that we go somewhere to celebrate." He grinned. "You're all alike, aren't you?" "I'm working till late at night, and I'm tired as hell." "You could have known better than to try to go to a restaurant." "I wasn't going to." She was even more confused. "You didn't notice anything, did you?" "What was I supposed to notice?" She took him by the arm and led him into the hallway where it was supposed to start. He really didn't notice anything. She led him through all the stash of notes that eventually led him to the present. "And a holiday dinner is set in the gazebo," she said quietly. Nicholas didn't even reveal the gift. He turned sharply to her. "And you decided to give me this show? Are you going to grow up? I have long tolerated all your tricks, not a word. But to arrange for me is this kindergarten on my birthday, and even after a hard day's work. Couldn't you have just congratulated me like a human being and fed me dinner? Or are you incapable of doing anything human at all?" After yelling at her, Nikolai slammed the door and went downstairs. She was left sitting on the bed. There was just no strength to say or do anything. It was as if she had been thrown a bowl of cold water. Nicholas ate dinner and defiantly went to sleep in his study. When he fell asleep, she quietly went downstairs, cleaned the festive dinner from the gazebo, put everything in order in the kitchen. Then she went upstairs, quickly gathered her things, called a cab, and left for her home. Her mother said nothing when she arrived in the middle of the night. But in the morning I had to explain myself, and her mother's reaction stunned her. "Well, what have you done?" Mother exclaimed. "Nicholas is right. You're just not going to grow up. And you do not think it's time? How old are you? You got such a great man, and you ruin everything with your own hands. You're just an idiot. Go back and make up with him right now, and learn to behave like an adult." She was at first dumbfounded by such an onslaught. Then she came to her senses, pulled herself together, and said what she thought. "Okay, to Mom, I'm not going back, first of all. Secondly, I'm not a child. I try to do nice things for the people closest to me, and I've always been good at it. Thirdly, if I am so annoying to a person, then why should I be around him? I do not understand just why he was so long tolerated. And finally, the last thing. You do not like me either. Why are you attacking me now? Actually, I was the one who was hurt." She turned away abruptly and hurried off to work, just to avoid continuing the quarrel. The whole next month passed like a fog. Nikolai called constantly, demanded to see her. She refused. He called her mother several times, probably asking her to influence her stupid daughter. All the time her mother tried to talk some sense into her. Day after day, it was the same thing. As in Kipling, day, night, night. We go through Africa day, night, all the same Africa. She was very well supported by Kostik, an old colleague. He invited her to sit in a cafe or to the cinema or to dance or just to walk along the streets. Such good Kostik, so familiar, so warmly his own. Somehow it just happened that she told him everything that had happened. "You know?" He listened to her carefully. Kostik said, "He did not need you. Yes, he was comfortable. You tasted good. You made him comfortable. You took care of him. But he didn't need you. He needs a housewife, not you. When a woman is needed, when she is loved, they don't say these things to her. You don't hurt the person you love. You are afraid of losing the person you love. So don't get too upset. You're a celebration girl, you know that. And you always will be. And I like you just the way you are." Kostik smiled disarmingly, and her soul warmed. She stopped answering Nikolai's calls, did not react to her mother when she tried to talk sense into her again. Life went on as it should have. They continued to meet with Kostik from time to time. She became accustomed to these meetings. She enjoyed them so much. She caught herself thinking that she really liked Kostya. But Kostik was just acting like a girlfriend. Everything changed unexpectedly. The summer had passed, and then autumn came. One day she came home, and in the hallway her mother met her, holding a bundle of colorful balloons. Kindergarten again. What kind of admirer is this with such idiotic antics? Her mother asked indignantly, holding out a letter. She took the letter. It was from Kostya. She unfolded it and read it. "I am leaving tomorrow for a month. I can't be silent anymore. I don't want to be just your buddy, because I've loved you for a long time. You're a celebration girl. You're a happiness girl. You're a sunshine girl. I want to be with you. I want to fly with you. If you agree, just let these balloons off the balcony to fly. Let's fly. Did you find a fool like you? There's a normal man who still wants you back. You'll be like a stone wall behind him. And you found someone you don't know. Well, use your head, will you?" My mother shouted. "And don't you dare let go of those damn balls. I won't let you ruin your life." Mom quickly shoved the stack of balloons into her room and closed the door. "Mom, what are you doing? Don't you realize that you're the one trying to ruin my life right now? I won't be with someone who doesn't want me, who hurts me, no matter how serious and wealthy he is. Yes, I like this guy, and he's not stupid." All to no avail, my mother didn't open the door. She jumped out of the apartment and ran down the stairs. She rushed around the house, trying to find Kostik. She couldn't find him. She tried to call, but Kostik didn't answer. Of course he realized I didn't need him, she thought. The next day, Kostik was not at work. He left just as he had written. A month passed like in some kind of anabiosis. She lived as if in a circle. Work, home, work. Her relationship with her mother had broken down. Mom saw her condition and seemed to realize that she had overreached herself, but it was too late to do anything about it. She tried several times to call Kostik, but he did not answer. She realized how unbearable it would be to work with him next to each other, to see him every day. realizing that she had ruined everything, so she quit. There were very nice people at the new place of work. Many people liked her. They invited her to go out, but she didn't want to. Former colleagues told her that Kostik was back. She tried to meet him several times, but didn't dare. One day, when she came home, her mother suddenly asked, "Is the guy who sent you the balloons back yet?" "Yes, he's back." "What difference does it make?" "Look, I messed up. I admit it. But let's try to fix it, okay? Go out with him if you love him. Don't take that away from you, please." "Mom, how do you figure that?" "I mean, you sure?" I said no. Especially since I also quit my job. And I imagine it this way. "Buy balloons?" Mom smiled. She looked at my mother in bewilderment, and then she walked over and hugged her. Kostik came out of the office and saw her. She was looking at him, smiling with a bunch of colorful balloons in her hand. He walked over. "Are you flying?" She smiled and opened her fist. The balls cheerfully rushed upwards, overtaking each other. Kostik looked up, laughed happily, took her in his arms and whirled. "Flying?" "Well,